Hello Leo, how you doing? Today we're gonna go for your August reading. I wanna know what is going on with you. You had an interesting month last month, July. You were slightly worried or in some sort of a risk of being robbed by someone. Maybe not literally robbed, but you had quite a person that wasn't having your best interests at heart in your entourage, because they were having their interest and they weren't necessarily people with the best character out there. And you were a bit worried about them and your finances, or I was worried that you might overspend or chase unfeasible dreams and options. And my advice for you for July was just keep the course, progress at a steady pace. So Leo, what are you doing in August? Let's see, how can I help you? We've already had a few cards popping up. Come on, outcome. Come on, outcome. So what's going on with the Leo? The Empress. Leos are standing in their power. Creative, abundant, calm. I'm not very happy about the outcome, so we might actually use the additional cards on how to fix it. And if you respect the advice, follow the advice, what would be the altered outcome? Okay, these are your cards, Leo, for August. It seems to me that you are worried now about some sort of financial loss or lack of abundance. It's interesting because you show up as the mother of abundance, Leo. Oh, something happened here. A clarifier wanted to come and tell me about this issue. Okay. I hope it's not related to last month. But if it is, you might have had someone take something of value from you. This could come in any shape or form. So, the person showing up last month in your cards was a sneaky, tricky bastard or bitch who was after some of your abundance. But it could not be a person. It could also represent maybe an authority that fined you. If you have received a significant fine in July, then that would explain why in August you're a bit unsettled about your money. Why do I say that? Because you have the Five of Pentacles, which is a card of feeling left out in the cold and not having enough. See, this is a frozen environment in which there are Five Pentacles, but there's no person in this card. Most of the cards show people, but this card is just like a snapshot of a moment in which you don't see the abundance. It's the tree is an old tree. It has no leaves. Snow covers the ground, so your finances might be at a lower point than usual in August. And death is clarifying it. And in this context, when we're talking about money, because this is about security, stability, and financial and assets in general and wealth, when death comes, it tells me that something ended and not necessarily in your favor if it caused you this feeling of not having enough. However, you have the capability of producing more abundance with this Empress card, which is one of the best feminine cards, which speaks of giving birth to new ideas and making things happen and collecting the fruit of your labor. You see, she's sitting in a very secure, safe, and abundant environment. You have a wheat here, which definitely represents material wealth and abundance. So, and her head has a crown, she has a crown of stars. So she's not lacking ideas of how to produce what she needs. So you do have what it takes, but for now you don't feel you feel rather unsettled. Now, the Four of Swords as a helper, it can only mean one thing: recoup and take a break. So probably in order to get the best out of yourself. Yeah, I do. You see, this lady has a defensive attitude. That's very clear. And I can understand why you would feel like it. She is also very tired. So you've been through quite a ride in July, and possibly will continue for part of August. And the advice of the card is to find ways to recover your energy in order to be able to start those new projects or to continue with the old ones that will bring the abundance back. You have the Page of Wands as a challenge. The Page of Wands is about some news regarding to action. So it tells me that you are going to take action in August, and I don't understand why it's a challenge, and I don't like the fact that the initial outcome is the Ten of Wands, which is a card of overload, overwork, too much to do. So whatever happened in July, or possibly at the beginning of August, left you a bit drained, as the Four of Swords shows it, and the Ten of Wands. So let's see how you can fix this situation, and what would be the new outcome if you follow the advice on how to fix. So your issue is related somehow to prosperity, security, wealth. Okay, so let's see how to fix it, because this Ten of Wands tells me that you work a lot, but as an outcome it doesn't show a positive conclusion for August. So how is Leo going to get out of these money problems? Now, two cards keep popping, so I'm not taking them. How is Leo going to come out of his financial stress and burdens or other material related issues? Okay, one card came, the Moon. Follow your intuition. How to fix it? Follow your intuition. Very interesting. This card for a tarot reader is not extremely productive. As in, I can't tell you exactly which path to take, but none of these cards actually speaks about a path or a choice. They all speak about something that happened to you and left you drained, worried, and burdened. The advice is follow your intuition. That's simply. But what to do? Give me one more, please. Give me one more. I want to know what Leo should do to improve their situation and overcome this obstacle and loss. Please. One more card for the Leos watching this on how they can improve their situation. Oh, look! The nasty guy showed up again. Yeah, you definitely dealt with somebody that didn't have your interest at heart, that wanted to take something from you, and probably did. Yeah, it's a confirmation of what last month said. It actually came to happen. I was hoping it's just your fear, but it wasn't. Okay. The Sun and the Emperor. And this just turns things around because the Emperor and the Empress make a couple. Okay, I'm going to place them here so you can see them. The Emperor and the Empress. You have sort of a divine couple. Or the Emperor comes as a confirmation that if you behave as the Empress, you will actually get to re-establish your kingdom. I would take it, in this reading, I would take it as a confirmation. Unless you do have someone in your life who is very productive, very capable, and very stable. Unless you have someone coming in to help you, then you will manage to get there and to become the Emperor again yourself if you follow the advice. There was no other advice but this one. It speaks about your psychic powers. It speaks about your inner guidance. This is not about consulting with anyone else. Unless this Emperor is a person that you can immediately refer to, then this is your only advice. Leo, as a fire sign, you have a very good intuition. Normally. You couldn't be a king if you wouldn't have it. Somehow you didn't spot this danger, or even if you did, you couldn't avoid it. But now that things are very clear and you had to pay that price and hopefully manage to get rid of this, hopefully, what's left for you to do is to create things by following your own guidance. And then the new outcome would be the Sun, which is, some people say, the best card in the tarot. It's interesting how you go from Moon to Sun. They say if you go within and do not let anybody trick you into following anything else but your own instinct, you will actually manifest the Sun. See, the Moon, maybe you're going through a night phase, and this lady is actually holding this torch, which she has lit up. Nobody's given it to her. She has fired this torch, and she's throwing a light around in the area of the subconscious. It could also represent fighting your fears, those that would tell you to give in, to take somebody else's advice or leadership. Don't do it. Don't. This woman actually turns night into day by working within the night of her subconscious. So she is using the night to turn into day. We can even assume that she's practicing some sort of a ritual at night. And then day comes and you get it back. You get it all back and more. Because you have, for an outcome, some of the best cards you could. The Emperor. There is no higher personality in a tarot deck than the Emperor. Unless you want to be a spiritual leader or guru, in which case you would probably prefer the High Priest. But I'm sure as a Leo, you want to show up as an actual leader in this concrete world in which we all live. You want to be the Emperor. And the Sun guarantees that there will be light and you will have this abundance showing up again. And maybe this whole thing was necessary. Maybe it was necessary because you weren't seeing some things clearly. I said Leo have very good intuition, but you didn't see this guy or this situation that left you without some money or some opportunities. You didn't see this guy. He managed somehow to sneak behind you and take things from you. So then you have to go within and do some work on yourself so that next time you are more prepared. You are listening to your intuition. You are emotionally able to discern. You see, nobody gets to be an emperor until they have been through enough challenges as to prove themselves worthy of ruling an empire. And one of the most frequent challenges is tricky, sneaky, dishonest, and in any other way immoral people. Until you learn how to deal with them, you can't be an emperor. So that was your lesson, Leo. Don't regret it. For a Leo, the fact that, this tree only holds 5 pentacles is nothing. He will create it all back from scratch with the card of creativity and abundance. So the Sun comes to say, you benefited from this lesson. You may feel now, you may feel bad, yeah? You may feel like, you don't like this at all right now. But it won't last forever. And this lesson will serve you for a lifetime. So Leo, you're on your path. And all you have to do now is to just learn what you can rely on in terms of information, and don't just stay with the visible and sometimes shallow aspects, those things that everybody knows, understands, and can rely on, but always check with your intuition. Don't forget the lesson, Leo, and I'll see you in September. I believe this will turn into a 6 and then into a 7 and then into a 10. So come back so that we can continue these readings. I'm asking you to come back because these readings are dedicated to the people that actually join my channel. The cards are actually coming up for them and not for someone else. So if you come in September, we can continue to see what can help you move forward towards your Emperor throne. It was a pleasure and an honor to read for you, Leo, and see you in September.